Hello and welcome to one of my pipe smoking videos. This is a bit weird actually. Through sheer bloody laziness, I have set up my camera on my desk, and where I would normally use lights, I'm just using available light from the window. As I say, sheer bloody laziness. I'm actually quite tired. I have managed to plug in the radio mics on today's show so that hopefully the sound is relatively decent, although I did at one point just think, do you know, I'll just do it through the camera's own audio, but I don't want that. I'm wearing this hat, which I hope you can see, to try and stop the window glare on my glasses, in actual fact, and also to light my face. It gets a bit bright, so one's using special measures. I keep looking at the screen, which is over there, instead of at you, because this is a bit of an unusual setup. But it's time. Time is of the essence. I'm recording this Saturday. It'll go out tomorrow morning. It'll be Sunday, presumably, when most of you will watch it. And I am smoking my Harriet pipe. Again, I have to say, I've got a lot of lovely pipes, but this is my favourite pipe. And it's not just, well, I guess it is because Chris is a nice bloke, but it's because he is very good at it. And it's just a very satisfying pipe, and I'm going to order another one when I've got some money. Money, it's all going out at the moment, like it is with everybody. Now, because I haven't backlit the smoke, although looking on there you can see it plentiful, I think. And I have today a cup of tea with it. And you're actually looking up at me. And I know I go on about the filming thing, but to me it's been in my life for most of my life. Let's try and get the words out. So I've got a bog standard ordinary cup of tea with a picture of a tractor on the mug. And I'm smoking from a sample set that my friend Ed gave me, which is called Virginia Burley Pipe Tobacco Sample Packet. And on the back there are loads of different ones I think are in here. American, oh, maybe this is promoting other ones. English blends, aromatic blends, American blends, flake, plug, twist, Smoke King Top 8, and Virginia Burley, which is what this one is. So yeah, so it's obviously from Smoke King. Which is an outlet in the, I was going to say the United Kingdom, but the United Kingdom doesn't exist. It's just a political concept. I say that because it is true. You go to Wikipedia and try and find a picture of the United Kingdom. You'll see a flag, you'll see some sort of anthem, and you might even see a map depiction. But do you see the rolling hills? Do you see the white cliffs of Dover? Do you see the wonderful granite houses? Do you see the Ooliptic limestone architecture? Do you see the fields of the farmers' fields, the crisscross pattern, and the Elizabethan Tudor houses? Do you see any of that? Of course you don't. Because it doesn't exist. The landmass of Britain exists. That's a true place. And it's interesting, isn't it, that we all think that we're told we live in the United Kingdom. But as it was, I was reminded by a friend who popped round today. He says, people say also, they say, oh, I live in England. Well, of course, that's not true either. You might live on England, or an area that's depicted as England. You live on it. You live on a landmass. Unless, of course, you have sunk a hole into the ground. The thing about doing this at my desk, it's by the window, so I get available light. And you can see all the people who pass. They can't see in because of my filthy net curtains, because the road outside here is just atrocious. Anyway, this is just another of my gabbling about nothing in particular videos. I was trying to smoke a pipe. And I've lost my tamper again. Sometimes I use a pen. So the reason of sheer bloody laziness and the way I'm doing it today, two things really. One, I'm packing, got to go away for a couple of days to Bonnie, Scotland, and I'm at an event. So the house is in a bit of disarray. I don't like packing. Do you like packing? I hate packing. Especially when you're away, you know, and also I'm emceeing at an event, and so master of ceremonies, you've got to take clothes to wear on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this auspicious occasion. All this sort of nonsense. It's got to be done, you know, that's what people do, isn't it? And then you want some sort of lounging about clothes. Well, my lounging about clothes are generally shirts and waistcoats or tank tops, as I have a cravat and, you know, a reasonable pair of trousers, warm trousers. Although my trousers, and of course going up to Scotland, they've got to be quite warm. But my trousers are wearing thin. I need to buy some more trousers, actually. As I said at the beginning of this, money is all going out at the moment. But then, you see, I believe you've got to get rid of some money to allow space for more money to come in. I think that's it's flow, isn't it? So sometimes when you haven't got any money, the way to look at it is you need to make that space so a greater amount can come in. And it's the same with the house, isn't it? We all buy things. We're taught that this is the corporate world of commerce, and we must buy lots of merchandise to keep people employed. Otherwise, what will they do with their lives? Well, these days, AI is going to do all that for you, so you'll have nothing to do anyway. So probably better to buy nothing. And I very rarely, but I buy things under duress, to be honest. Especially new things. I like second hand, a bit like Father John in that mode. Although, I'm not very, I mean, I like antiques. He does a lot of buying of antiques, and it's a very good and noble thing to do, to preserve and keep alive those things that were built with care and love. I'm not terribly knowledgeable about antiques, that's my problem. But I do like old things. So if it's old, even if it's a bit, you know, off an assembly line from some years ago, a Bakelite something or other, I might be tempted. I do buy a few modern things, obviously. I've had to buy a modern camera. I'm looking forward to seeing Father John's photographs that he's taking with his old-fashioned 100-year-old, I think they are 100-year-old Leicas. And these old lenses he's got. That's a nice smoke. This is, did I tell you what it was? Peterson's Summer Breeze, this is, for a sample. I didn't tell you, did I? I'm now telling you. And that's very nice. I don't think my friend Sean watches this. I'm not sure, he might do. But he recently had a tragedy. His cat was hit by a car and was found by a neighbour and put into a box and what have you. Very sad. And I know Father John's cat's disappeared and that he was distraught. And my friend is, of course, he lives alone and he's distraught. And I looked at our cat. It was Julia's cat, really, but I look after it here. And I just thought to myself, are you next? And we're away, you see. I've got my son coming in. He'll let the cat out and bring the cat in and feed the cat and pet the cat and all those things. And he'll be in and out the house. Fortunately, he works only around the corner, so he can sort of organise that around his work. And it's very kind of him, and I'll drop him some cash. Sometimes we go up to the farm shop and we give him some good quality farm food. He needs that because he has seizures from time to time. He had a brain hemorrhage when he was 18. He's now 30 something, and it was the worst time of my life. I thought, I thought I was going to lose him. He was only 18 and he had this brain hemorrhage, nearly died. And you know what it's like. You go to the doctor, we rushed him. I mean, if I wasn't here, if I hadn't have been, he was living at home at the time, if I wasn't here, I would have lost him. It was only by the very fact that I hadn't quite gone to bed. I was just about to go to bed and suddenly he had this issue and he would have just collapsed if I hadn't been there. Anyway, it's got a bit morose now, isn't it? I just think back to those days and it was the most scariest thing. Now, I lost an eye, and when it's yourself, you put up with all sorts of things, don't you? You put up with it, you get on with it. Yeah, you feel a bit sorry for yourself at times, but you get on with it because that's all you can do. When it's a loved one, whether that's your son or your pet, and something happens, you want to take that pain, you want to take the potential death, you want to take the death away, and you want to take it yourself, don't you? It's a strange thing. We're all trying to preserve our lives. We do everything to try and stay alive as much as we can, although we don't really, because a lot of people eat wrong foods, they abuse their bodies, and so on. But on the whole, if the house was burning, we wouldn't stay in it. If we were drowning, we would desperately climb onto a boat that was passing, isn't it? We try to save our lives. But the sacrifice that I think is natural in most of us, not all, but most of us, that if you saw somebody else injured, a loved one particularly, and I don't know if I'm talking for anybody else really other than myself, but if that happened, you would say, if you had that communication, let's say with God or with the universe or with the creator or whatever it is that you think might be in charge, you'd say, please will you swap it for me? Most of us, unless of course, it's an elderly relation of 98 and you think, oh, well, fair enough, he's had good innings, he's got a few years on me, but you know what I mean. And so Billy has a few issues, but we keep him healthy with good quality food as much as we can, and he's only round the corner. So anyway, he'll be in to check on the cat. So I didn't mean to be. I don't plan these. I just waffle on for a bit and hope that it all makes some sort of sense, and hope I'm not upsetting anybody. That's not the plan at all. But my heart still goes out to Father John, and also my friend Sean, and anybody else who's lost a pet. I have another friend who keeps ferrets, or he kept ferrets, and his last of the ferrets that he kept, he died the other day. He was elderly as far as I know, and just died because of old age as far as I'm aware. So it's just sad, isn't it? But I guess it's one of those things in life. But both cats, they were really still only kittens. They were very young and they'd barely lived. And there is this theory that some people have that the spirit chooses the body that it's going into. And I often wonder, does it know what the future is before it gets into the body? Because somehow its memory is wiped, clearly. If we all chose to come in, well, I'll come into this body and be abused by my parents, or I'll be abused by the bloke across the... I mean, would you choose to do that? I don't think so. But I guess that's life's lessons, isn't it? We're all learning. At least I hope we're all learning. It's a bit deep today. I'm sorry about that. It's funny, isn't it? I bet you those people who make light of life and joke and are jolly and what have you most of the time, and what you don't see is really the fact that they, especially if they put their heads over the parapet in some form, not necessarily by coming on YouTube or performing, but they put they put their life in front of you. They're not reserved and closed off. They put themselves. But I bet you that those same people are a lot more sensitive than others, and that their emotions are quite easily frayed. Let's just put it like that. Because when things hit you, I think because if you're quite jokey and frivolous a bit, and you treat life as light, and then suddenly something hits you like that, it probably goes deeper than those who are, I guess, less optimistic, perhaps less open and close, because perhaps those people who are less like that are a bit more wary of life anyway. They don't, they're not. They don't open their soul up. I don't know. I mean, I'm maybe talking complete and utter hogwash, and only you will know. I've had this before. This sunset breeze. You know the annoying thing about these. I'm not going to show you the other side. It's only got a label like that, because it has even this. You get this stupid government warning on here, which I've taped over and scribbled over, and even on the little labels. They really want you to get this hypnotic message. And there is research to say that actually nicotine, the thing that they've made sound really bad, is actually beneficial. Now, not everybody wants to smoke to get the nicotine, I grant you, and there are other things. Somebody gave me some, I'll probably mention them on my other channel. Some, they're mints, they are, that you can suck or you put under your lip and what have you. But there's a doctor in America called Dr. Brian Ardis. Now, some people think that he's talking rubbish. I personally don't think he's talking rubbish. And he's coming over to the, I nearly said it then, he's coming over to the landmass we call Britain to do some talks. And I may be hosting with him, or on the stage with him as MC. So I'm going to ask him about all of this and get the lowdown. I know he doesn't necessarily promote smoking as such. But I'll tell you more about that when it happens. Anyway, I've waffled on a bit. I need to go and sort out my trousers, my shirts, polish my shoes. All these things, leaving early in the morning. So, and it's a long drive because I'm right at the bottom of England. And we've got to go right the way through England and then right the way through to central Scotland. It looks like horrible weather at the moment here. I hope it's not horrible weather tomorrow. And then I'll be back hopefully by next week, or I may do one whilst I'm up there. I've got to pack cameras and things. Might do one with Julia. So you might see Julia and I having a puff. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much. It's been fun. Glad I've done it. I've had my cup of tea, I've had my pipe, and I haven't, on this occasion, I haven't had to put the lights away. But I've now got to go and charge up camera batteries, microphone batteries, get my clothes, all that sort of stuff, get on the road. Yeah, not on the road. Get ready for the road. Anyway, thank you for watching. Toodle pipe, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.